Okay, thank you. Thank you, Kote. In last session, we don't have presentations ready. I can today show our project, our progress. If you have wish.
You can.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, no, this is excellent. I was very worrying about the group team number 3 because so far we have nothing, not nothing but little company visit reports, and your companies are very interesting. So I was wondering this, because I feel like we could do a lot at this Mandarin juice concentrates company. It was very
Yes.
interesting. This company visit report. So please, Manu.
Okay, thank you. I don't have permission for screen sharing. Please allow.
You want to share the screen, yeah?
Yes, yes.
Let me try. Security. And I sharing option multiple. Okay, only one person share plan. And sharing options. Only host all participants. აბაცადე ხა.
Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. Our first enterprise is LTD Giant Group. This factory is located in Achara region in Kobuleti. The company, sorry for my Georgian presentation. I will try to make some translation. This factory is established in 2011 year, and basic work is make just concentrate and basic accent. They make about Mandarin production. There is some numbers in investigation about $6 million, and this is 32 million ton Mandarin, and this is 2,600 ton concentrates, and also they make Mandarin puree. Factory is middle factory, and employer number is about 100 person. In the factory we have three production line, make juice concentrate. Power is 15 ton per hours. Also pure production 10 ton per hours, and also they make some Mandarin packaging and realization. This is overview of concentrate process, how they make concentrate. If you have interest, I will detail explain this step by step.
Ah,
Um,
yes,
okay.
yes, please. The main process.
Okay. Um, First step is Mandarin. They transfer Mandarin in big basin and they washing first of all. After this, they transfer washing Mandarin in the separator, and they scrub and cleaning with wet brushes. After scrubbing and cleaning Mandarin, they transferred in extractor and in this they cutting. Uh, Also, next step is skin and remain transfer to in Kadama Mushavebeli, Georgian. I don't know how to say. Recover section maybe, recombination section, and they make separating. After this, we have some juice, but this juice needs some clean, and in the pulper they make primary cleaning of this juice, and after this next process is pasteurization. Um, speed of pasteurization is 10,000 liter per hours. Temperature of water is 110 Celsius, and pasteurization temperature about 80 Celsius. We have pH not more than 4, and this juice remains about 30 minutes. This process is necessary for um, clean and also remove all the microorganisms where to store this juice for next step. Mm. After this is a cooling process. This factory uses their own source of water, uh, and they are cooling with mm, with um, cold water. Uh, After this, they transfer in evaporator. This is speed of transfer. In evaporator, all the water is removing from juice, and the final step is packaging in aseptic bags.
Mm.
Mhm. This is short review of whole process. After that, they have also pure production line. This is also review of process, not so hard than concentrate, but this is also first of all they they transfer Mandarin in the press where is high pressure and they get secondary quality juice.
Mm-hmm.
And with pump they transfer and adding this secondary quality press on the primary juice. Remaining mass of mandarin from the press transfer in the chopper where they mix the hot water and they are cutting in small pieces. After chopper, this cutting mass is transferring in hot device where this product is hotting about 80-85 Celsius, and after that they get like a pasta.
Okay.
And
After
this pasta, yes. After that, this pasta goes to the tank, and in this tank is sterilization process about 90-92 Celsius, then cooling and packaging in 200 kilogram bags. This is a process overview of pure line.
Mm-hmm. So 2 main lines.
Yes. This is energy mass and energy flow. Unfortunately, we are still waiting some numbers and information from the factory. We had contact with chief engineer, Mr. Mirian, and we hope they will provide us some information, some numbers, and to finalize our report and make some decision. Sorry for empty rows and.
Yeah. Vano, may I kindly interrupt you?
Okay.
You lack numbers, but do you know the main flows of waste and where, at which step of production, what generates? Do you is it that you don't have numbers, or you don't have clear picture of where various wastes and energy flows and material flows are used? Hmm?
We after visit in site, we have some impression and some technical arrangement of this process. We have that they use this air for boiler room. They don't waste money for water because they have their own source in this local territory. But important numbers is unknown for us this moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Can I go to the next slide? This is a report after site visit. We we have possibility to mm, see with our eyes outdoor devices, outdoor water system. Also, we were in a boiler room where is hot and cold water systems, and also we have possibility to see general processes space where is located high technical devices, for example, juice, puree, and etc.
Mhm. Just a moment to clarify. So you've seen most important utilities, so support
Yes.
systems, auxiliary systems, and you also visited the main, as I understand, two departments or two process lines, one for puree and another one for the concentrate. You have seen both processes.
Yes, but in our site visit, this factory not working was not working because all production line is stopped because the production season is ended also yet, because we don't have possibility to see working process and do
Mm-hmm.
all devices, um, all the motors and etc. Is turning off.
Close.
Yes. Mm. This is outdoor cylinder tank. Our site visit begins from outdoor. Make some pictures, make some uh, discussion about these devices, and mm, our, and we think and mm, these devices and cylinders and pipes and etc. Needs some modification. Uh, I mean, this is uh, how to say sheputwa packaging to avoid
Losses.
thermal losses. Yes,
Insulation. Mhm.
yes, because all of them are unpacked, and they have big thermal losses about this. Also, there is the pump, and the pump needs to be changed into energy efficient pump. Also, this cold water pipe needs it is need to replace on a big cross section pipe, and also some thermal package. This is internal view. We have cold and hot water systems. All of the pipes are also unequipped,
Mm.
and they have big thermal losses. Uh, we made some calculations, also lengths, wow, and we describe this numbers in our notebook also, if we need in future.
Mm.
Mhm. This is also boiler room pictures, and big most of how to say, big works is in boiler room. It
Mhm.
needs big modification.
They are now putting in new boiler.
No,
Oh.
they have had turned on boiler for testing,
Mm.
because they have had some problems in this moment, and this boiler working on testing mode. Okay. Uh, Also in boiler, in this moment was damaged regulator, and I hope the pressure was not enough for working process, and they had this problem, and I hope this problem is already solved.
Mhm. Mhm.
Uh,
Vano, may I just ask you one small question before you continue?
okay.
You went to the factory, it was in February, early February,
Yes.
and then it was still quite close to the Mandarin season. So the factory was
Uh,
not working.
yes, factory not working.
Because I think their processing season should be kind of be during the winter time, but it wasn't
Yes.
idling. Mm. Please continue.
Okay, thank you. Also, we uh, for us is known some information that uh, in this factory is they not use recycling wastes, and this waste needs some efficiency approach to use like to use for fuel, and uh, they have big waste, and they don't use it, uh, and this is a problem also.
The waste is what is mandarins skin.
Yes, yes, skin, and all the parts which is not used, and it is like a garbage, and they can use this because
Mhm.
it is not little number. We have big numbers of this garbage.
Large quantity of this rubbish. Okay.
Mhm.
Is it possible
Uh,
to produce alcohol counterfeit? No.
I don't know how to make uh, uh, how to use this waste, but I we and my group agree with me that they can use this opportunity.
Vano, may I interrupt you?
Yes.
If thank you. I have some feelings, and I've been to some juice factories. What could be done, and things like biogas comes immediately into my mind.
Yes.
But biogas plant is an expensive plant, so and you need to carefully calculate this. But a part of biogas. What I was thinking would think in my mind first is to there are so many millions of juice factories, thousands of those who produce concentrates. There should be some experience with what doing with uh, uh, these remnants from the pressing process.
Yes.
This matter, this what's so called fruit meat, and there should be some experience. I would advise your team is look around and try to Google and try to find good references from juice companies to see what they are doing um, with this byproduct, with this stuff that remains from the pressing process. That's one thing that comes into my mind. The second thing that comes into my mind is that um, do we know if we are effective and efficient in the pressing process? Do we know that we have taken all of the juice out of mandarins, what we could do? Um, I remember that my father was doing juice, making juice from grapes, and he was boiling it, and it was also possible sometimes what was possible not, and sometimes not possible to make twice, to bring it through twice. So it also this conditions with regard to this pressing machine, also to this pasteurization process. If we speak to this company and ask, do we know, do we have any indicators how well are you taking this, extracting the juice? Maybe they will give you some hints and with what kind of parameters could be controlled in order to ensure that they take it all, what is possible. And then probably to produce, if they would manage better or would better control their process, or they probably would need less mandarins to produce the same quantity of juice, concentrate, or puree. So I would also try to speak to the company myself, and or also look around, because this is standard problem for all beverage companies and juice manufacturers, is what kind of parameters should be used to control that we take our pressing process is uh, is 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 effective, that we are not that probably maybe we should this has to something to do with the how much do we feel of the material in the press machine, how fast are we going, maybe we need to press in stages, things like that. There should be some technology, and we need to try to see if the company is capable to control this process, so that we could reduce the number of waste, quantity of waste. Please continue. Oh, no. You
Okay.
understood my point.
Yes, I understand what you said. And this is uh, all basic impression about this factory. Uh, for short sentences, and their basic problem is temperature losses. Uh, Also, uh, we we don't want, and it is not necessary to make some modification the processing on processing space, where is juice concentrate and puree line. It is not necessary, because they work normally, and we think it is not our job. Uh, and we think also, and it is not only my opinion, this is ideas from my group to make more detailed site visits uh, and uh, and every part of this factory uh, um, show some and make some calculation also, and we need some support from experienced people uh, like Mr. Nodar, Mr. Hotel. So because it is not easy. Uh, we are unexperienced in this case, and um, we think it is not necessary uh, uh, to make another site visit more and more hard work to get some positive result. Okay, that's all about Mandarin factory. We have also another small factory, and let me uh, turn on this presentation also. If you have some questions.
Yeah. Dmitry, maybe you have some questions. I have to this Mandarin Vano
Yes.
company. You have essential problem that you cannot see the production process yourself.
Yes.
This is a problem. But the company looks like a modern company, right?
Yes.
So if they are a modern company, is a well running company, and do you feel that they have production statistics? Do you feel like that they have energy meters? Do you feel like that they can share with you process related information, a bit better description of um, of technology for both main processes? Do you feel like that they are ready, since you don't see the production process yourself? Do you feel like that they are ready, the chief engineer could sit together with you and go through all the main processes and discuss what happened there and what problems arise? For example, give you some reasons and share his ideas of what happens, why sometimes they have very humid residue from the pressing process. Sometimes they have very dry, if it's so, and if they measure this in quantity. So there should be some kind of indication how effective they are. Do you think this is possible?
Yes, I think it's possible. In our site visit, they were busy because of this boiler room has some problems, and every person is has another job, another work, and we were alone in this factory, and we have some support from chief engineer also, and we think it's possible. Yes.
Yeah, so you think now you will be able to sit together with him and go through all these steps
Yes.
that you
Yes.
have indicated and try to quantify what comes in and what comes out.
Yes.
And but is this Mandarin company friendly to you? You feel it's Do you think it's easy to speak to
Yes,
them?
they were very friendly with us, and I hope in future they work. They will work with us also.
Yeah. But then you have now a lot of ideas.
Mhm.
They are very much based on experiences from your uh, fellow colleagues, from your trainers, Nadar and Konstantin.
Yes.
Um, it's important that you further develop these leads, these ideas, and then you will have already three, four ideas or measures. But you very have a very valid point that they have a lot of waste, and then what to do with this waste? And if we come back to what we have been talking last time, is that biogas plant is an obvious opportunity for such production site, such production, but it's expensive. It's
Yes.
expensive, and it requires also it requires good knowledge for the process, because this biogas process um, is um is requires uh, requires temperature conditions that are very very. You need to have a very good follow up of the temperature inside this biogas tank. Make sure that bacteria is growing and and not dying. But this probably isn't obvious, but maybe the last possibility, what to do with these residues. But there is a lots of another factors. Go look around, think yourself. Um, I would I would suggest you strongly to try to Google on the internet what other juice companies are doing with the residues, and try to think, do they have even generation of residues or not? Sometimes they might need one tractor to take away maybe these residues from 5 tractors of mandarins. Sometimes they need 3 tractors. And if you ask your chief engineer and whether they experienced such situations, and if he would confirm, yes, sometimes we need more more transport to take it away, sometimes less. This gives you some indication that this generation of residues, that actually uh, quantity of residues per one mandarin could vary. And try to estimate. I think this would be a very important indicator for yourself, as how much waste, how much, for example, residue is generated from 1 ton of standard mandarins. And if you would try to trace this parameter, find the data, and I think it's possible because the company knows how much mandarins, accounts how much mandarins have been used in a standard day of December, for example. And they probably also know how much where the fuel cost to take it away. Then you probably could calculate um, the generation of residues, and to make this indicator parameter uh, quantity of residue per 1,000 per 1 ton of mandarins, and to see whether it's stable or there are some ups and downs. And if there are some ups and downs, try to speak to the company, and maybe we would be able to propose some measures to better control this process, the process of pressing. And this will not just save mandarins, but will save a lot of energy also for them, because you will you will save on every article they use. It will be could be very profitable and useful for the company measures. I'm sure that and I know I've been to a few myself juice manufacturers. I know that they are very keen in holding control of how uh, this pasteurization process and pressing process is organized, because this heavily controls the generation of useful product for them. This is my suggestion. You cannot see yourself, but you can sit together with the chief engineer, ask him to take all the statistics from the company, and go through this process. Ask what we could do to reduce the quantity of very expensive, very residues. That's one thing. Another thing is much more advice, much more specific. You have done a lot of work in a difficult situation where you haven't seen the process yourself, and you haven't had the possibility to speak very or spend much time together with the company staff. But I think you have enough information now to try to feel at least chapters number 1-4 about the company. Try to feel the first part of the report, and then it would have been much easier for you to discuss with myself, with Dmitry, with Konstantin, with Nadar. It would be easier and much more professional to discuss point step by step, up to the point. So, do you think I feel myself that you have enough information to feel now the chapters 1-4? What do you think?
Yes, it is possible.
Even, yeah.
Yes.
And then speak to the center and try to go to the visit the company once again now in June, as soon as possible, beginning of June, if it's possible to go there.
Yes.
Speak to Konstantin and Nadar and to the company, and we actually planned such a trip, and I don't see any need to wait until the end of July or June. Maybe it's possible, and Konstantin should confirm that. Maybe it's possible to go quite soon. Yeah.
Okay. This will be great.
Yeah, we will communicate and decide when it will be better. We will, according to that, we will decide.
Yeah. Then you don't have you haven't seen the production process, but it's important indicator would be if the
Sure,
company
yes.
will give you figures,
Yeah.
production figures. I think.
Basically, it will be just communication face to face, because at the time, surely we know the factory will be not working. So
Yeah, we will not be able to see the process itself,
yes,
but I think in general the process at such companies is quite close. It's they use vessels, they use tanks, they use pasteurizers. Everything is inside. But but try to collect figures and ask them to comment your thoughts, and maybe they also have their own ideas that you could quantify, calculate the cost and savings. Okay. Um, but I think it's important for us, for example, for me to be able to, for us to be able to help you, is that you start putting tables, start filling figures and uh, process flow sheet, so that then we could speak more professionally. Yeah. Any other comments on this before we go to Titania? No. Let's move ahead.
Okay. Thank you. Can you show my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. This Tikani is a small factory which is located in Chokhatauri in Korea region. Their basic job is production plastic materials, plastic bags. They their market is Western Georgia, and basic clients are bread companies for packaging. Um, in the factory, we have process which are uh, melting of polyester small granules, uh, and they get plastic. Um, Also, they are cutting and they are packaging. Also, this factory uses mm, uh, how to say, mm, recycle process also, and broken or damaged plastic they use in the working process. Mm. This is devices and energy consumption slide. This factory uses only electricity, not gas, not water, only electricity, and their monthly monthly consumption is about uh, 20,000 kilowatt hour. Um, in the factory, there are many motors, heaters, and air compressions. Um, this factory is interested extension also in future, and parallel they want to so they want to make some energy efficiency measures. Also, we don't have information from this factory because they because communication is not good with them, and we are still waiting these numbers, informations, and we hope as soon as possible we have this data and we make uh, some um, discussion about it. This is a process of um, mm, this. First of all, they they are buying these granules from another countries, and um, this is polyester granules. This is mm, this is they mix the color, and these granules are ready to make some plastic. This is heaters and basic process is here. Basis process machine is that.
Mm.
Process is not hard, not is very easy and not so complicated.
And I can see what the third machine is, but the first two.
This one, yes.
Mm-hmm.
This is heaters where the plastic granules are melting and this this plastic middle product is made.
Okay, so here the first machine, it's a smelter, so it's electric.
Yes, everything is electric.
Is
Every
electric.
part of.
The second machine is pouring of plastic liquid,
Yes.
and the third is molding
Yes.
or rolling.
Roller, yes. Okay, and next step. This is what I say already said. This is machine where they transfer their damaged on unusable plastics, and they recycling in this machine, and they can this this cutting plastic use like a secondary product. After roller, they transfer this plastic rolls on the cutting machine, and they cut in uh, sizes. At the site visit, we has some delays, and it was not working properly, and we think that it needs some modification and some improve to increase overall effectiveness of this factory.
But it's not working effectively. It means that lots of plastic is cut in wrongly, or what?
No, not wrongly, but it has time delays, and no, it was not fast.
So it's a time delays. It means that the machines are idling a lot of time before in new batches coming with the plastic. So it means that it's not well. It's running empty. At this time, it's a waste of energy. Okay, I understand.
Okay, that was our point to make somehow this device more efficient.
Automatic stop sensor will.
Not in this machine work. They have one operator which controls this machine process. Okay. This is also pictures of existing motors. Our impression was that these motors were outdated, old, and maybe not energy efficient. but it needs some calculation also, some discover, and
How large are these motors? What do you think? Are they large or small?
yes, I think about 10, 12 motors.
Kilowatts. Okay. Kilowatts. Yeah. 10, 12. But your feeling is that they are underloaded, or you feel that they are generally low efficiency? They
Yes,
are obsolete.
we had such a feeling uh, after saw these motors.
But you haven't done measurements.
Hmm. Yes. Uh, Also, our idea was because this factory uses only electricity, and they have a big costs. They can also implement some solar systems, uh, which uh, which is useful for them, mm, to make some how to say,
To save, reduce using
reduce
electricity.
their electricity costs first of all.
But then you
Uh,
need to do the calculations because it could be an expensive project.
it needs good calculations, and I hope this idea will be useful for them,
Mm.
because they have big costs, and they want extension also, and after extension their cost will be more increased.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I see. Um, but then um, you will be able to quantify the cost of solar power.
Yes, information is very easy to get for these days. Solar panel systems will be more cheaper, and I think it's it is good solution for for small factory
Yeah.
to use.
Mm. But what is important here is that when you the solar panels they generate DC
Uh,
electricity voltage.
yes,
The
they
company
have.
maybe they can convert maybe somehow lighting system could be DC, and then it will be cheaper. But otherwise, you need to put inverters.
Uh-huh. Um, uh, you're saying that the solar system will be used only for lighting, yes?
If directly, but if indirectly, then you need if directly, this maybe lighting system could be converted to DC, but voltage. But you cannot directly use for the motors and things like this. You will need inverter systems, and for that you will also have to receive terms of reference and permission from the grid. So you will need to this the cost of solar panels, solar cells, multiply with uh, probably with a factor of 2, because inverter will be costing almost approximately the same as solar cells, and then it will be the cost. So and then you should compare what would be the production cost of solar power with the production cost with the cost of power they buy from the grid. So
Okay,
be please a little bit conservative in such project.
okay, it will be interesting for us also. Uh, um, okay, But first of all, that's only idea, only our idea, and we hope they like this idea.
Mm.
Mm. Okay, our basic impressions also because this factory is small, a big modifications and big energy efficiency measures maybe will not be possible, but there are still some points, some issues that we and they can improve. First of all, decrease the electricity bill costs.
Mm.
Okay, that's all.
Do, maybe my colleagues Dmitry, Kote, and Nodar have any question about this factory? Dmitry?
Um,
No? Okay.
no.
Kote? If I have some questions, few questions. One more. Thank you very much for this presentation.
Thank you
It
too.
was interesting. I think it's a good presentation. So good slides. So it's for me it's much easier, and I was excited. It's a magic that I could see on my screen your presentation. But if you could come back to the slide where you show the recycled plastic.
Okay, and which slide? Can you stop me?
Recycled plastic.
This
Yeah, this
one.
one.
Yes. Mhm.
Do you know what is the reason why this plastic um, is rejected, and then of course it's put back into the production process? But why uh, during the first time it will be generated as a waste? Do we know the
Uh,
reasons and how much
if,
in how large quantity of this rejected plastic is?
as I know, not a big numbers, but there are still rejected plastics like damaged cutting and etc. And they have opportunity to recycle this. Uh,
Yeah, but if I will be yourself, I will be in your position. Then what I will do in my report, I will try to calculate the cost of this recycled plastic, and then compare
uh,
it with the cost for the raw material they use for the first time. And
mhm.
it might happen that the cost would be much different. It would be different. Maybe it would cost twice as much. Then the company
Maybe.
should be aware that this recycling is costly for them.
Mhm.
And why does it? Do you know why does it cost different price than the initial granules?
Uh,
You
yes.
know, do you agree with me that it would cost them if they recycle it? That will cost them much more.
Yes, because they uses more electricity for reuse. Mhm. Yes.
And this would be probably one of my advices and your uh, your noble task, um, maybe to quantify and suggest your assumptions for the company, to present the company how much would this recycling cost for the company. Maybe it would cost twice as much, because this plastic is the plastic plus all the costs that
Yes.
have been already spent on it, on the production process. Um, mm, so it will cost them a lot. So
Yes.
if I would say, for example, I will just make a very simple, simplistic um, estimate. If I know that the plastic bag costs maybe twice as much as the cost of the plastic it comprises of, then I would assume that these rejects would cost also twice as much
Mhm.
because it's the salary of personnel, all the depreciation cost for the equipment, everything is in the cost of final product. And this plastic has the cost of the final product. So um, make it make the company aware about this, and I think that should be one of the tasks for your report. And I don't think it should comprise a very difficult task for you. Collect information where, at which points this rejects are generated, and then try to see if it's at the very last point that they, for example, it's the plastic bag which was not pasted well or has a wrong dimension size that was cut again, things like that. If you know that you could assume that this is approximately the price of the bag, twice as or three times as much as the plastic cost. And then this is an extra burden to the company. And then the next question would be asked why this plastic is generated. Could we do something? Is it much? Do we know how much? Does the company account this itself or not? Or they have just norms? Um, and ask why this plastic. And but of course, when you account, when you know how much, then you could also be able to call to assume or to conclude for yourself: is it important for the company or completely not unimportant? Is it 1% of the total turnover of the company, or maybe it's 5%? 5% is noticeable then. So, and then try to find out why this plastic is used, because all the energy is sitting in the cost of this recycled plastic. This is my feeling. And then also it's they use a lot of electricity. So if you are once again at this company, try to make a list of the equipment, collect all the capacities. For example, what is the most heavy piece of equipment? Maybe this smelter machine, and then try to observe if this most heavy duty machine, most expensive. For example, if I might be wrong, but maybe it's a smelter. Then try to analyze whether they use energy effectively or not there. Do they control the temperature well or not? What is the technology for smelting, and do they stick to this technology? And of course, what you notice yourself, that this stretching machine or this conveyor machine is not fully occupied, and maybe you want to automatic switch, automatic turn it off one or something like this. This is very, very good. But I think this is your impression from the site visit. But next time you're there, try to collect all the figures related to the which machines are consuming most. Then make ranking and try to think what we could do. Are they effective? Are they efficient or not? And you probably would find at such companies it should be possible to yeah this to do something. That I've been to this similar company in Bulgaria with a produces PVC profiles, a bit similar process to bags. And they save 35% with relatively low cost measures, because at smaller companies they do not have time to and qualification to closely follow the process. But so far, with this company, you totally out of figures. It was not difficult to. It was not easy to reach them in the period since we met with you last time, since April. Have you got any new information from them?
We have sent some reminder. We have to make some reminder to provide this data.
But no response.
No, not yet, not yet. But we hope this data will be sent.
Do you think that they will continue with? They will still be able, once you go there, once you visit the Mandarin company, you will also visit Titani, and you think you will be able to speak to them, spend some time with them?
Yes, it's possible. Face to face, it will be more easy than communication via telephone or something.
They're simple people, they don't like writing email. But now, do you feel yourself when you would go to Titani and also to Giam Guru? Do you think that this time you will be able to ask more focused, more targeted questions?
Yes,
and information?
Because first site visit, we don't have enough time because every part of this factory was new for us, and one and half we have half day to make our impression, and it is not enough for overall project.
Especially for such small companies, it's a lot of it's such small companies where they don't have engineers and don't have different various specialists, and they probably don't have much energy statistics. But that this maybe you should. It's not would not be easy to collect energy data from them, but try to take. There is a checklist of potential measures that Dmitry has presented last time. And especially for such small companies, this checklist, you can read it, acknowledge yourself before you go there, and I'm sure that several questions will be relevant for Titani. They would have to do, they have to do with the good housekeeping, with the process control and things like this. I'm sure that this, especially for Titani, this checklist would be useful. Do you feel yourself that you will manage your team will manage to fill the 2 reports?
Yes.
Because what I'm a bit concerned that you are now reporting on behalf of the team. Are you the team leader?
Well, yes. Yes. Yeah, I am.
You have 2 Georgi, 2 Gio. I remember one of them. The second one I don't remember. But do you have good contacts with them? Are they interested and prone to work with you?
Yes, we have created our working chat, and our ideas and our impression is we are sharing with each other.
And maybe also speak to Konstantin and Nudar also.
Yes, of course.
Okay, Ivano, do you have any questions to myself or to somebody else?
My question will be about next site visits. How you think when it will be possible, or um, if you have some suggests and some details,
No, let me answer.
will be useful for us.
We are planning, just planning preliminary, like time schedule, a second half of the June for site visits for all companies. So exact day will be selected when we will agree everything, time schedule with the company and with you, your
Okay.
participants, team members, and then currently we are planning second half of the June, and let's see how it goes.
But maybe it's a bit earlier, maybe we could plan, or it's a long trip, right? You will sleep in a hotel. Where would you sleep? In Batumi? No.
No, Kobuleti. We have
Uh,
great,
it's
nice
not possible
hotel.
to visit Batumi during the trip.
Sorry?
It's not possible to visit Batumi, to stay
I'm not
overnight in
sure.
Batumi,
No. We have quite good
or it's still far
hotel.
away.
We have quite good hotel in Kobuleti. So
Okay.
if you mean seaside, it's better. Beach is better in Kobuleti than in Batumi.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's good to know.
Batumi is port, and
Yeah.
little bit water is filthy, little bit,
Yeah. Yeah.
and more
Yeah.
people.
So
In Kobuleti, we have a little bit less activity and more stony beach and more
so
clear water.
better beaches in
Yeah,
Tbilisi.
more transparent. But in terms of city and infrastructure, of course, Batumi is better. But no problem.
But I think especially for these two companies, it's important to go there as soon as possible. So
Yeah.
think yourself when you can.
Yeah. As usual, we will first visit Kobuleti and next day back to Tbilisi. We visit second company in
Titani.
Johatauri, and that's it.
Yeah, I think with regards to Mandarin company, it's important try to find the description of energy efficiency projects or benchmarks from similar companies. It should be possible. It's a beverage and juice industry. There's so much literature is written about this, and try to Google and try to find interesting examples. What to do with uh, this residue and how to control its generation. It's typical standard problem, and they're not the first one who face it. So try to see what others have done. This would be my also strong. This is not any. There is nothing in these two companies. Nothing is very specific. It's a standard processes realizing many other factors. Yeah, might be Dmitry. It might have maybe Dmitry has any access to good practice information on the Mandarin companies on juice producers or Dmitry.
Ну, пока ничего не скажу.
Okay. Vano, was nice meeting with you. And are we going to see each other on Monday?
Mhm.
ორ შაბათს ვიწყებ დილიდან.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. And I hope, yeah. I hope also your fellows, Georgi number 1, Georgi number 2 also
Mhm.
be present.
Right.
Okay. Have a nice afternoon. Спасибо большое.
Thank you for your time, for your big
Ivano.
support.
And our next
Спасибо большое.
meeting
Thank
will
you.
be at 2 o'clock, yes?
Куда? Yeah.